morning, good afternoon, good evening. Zimbabwe today stands at a crossroad. I don't think so. I think we've been down this road. We know it already. Zimbabwe's economic and social collapse did not start today or last year or the last decade. It started soon after independence. And we've been traveling down this road all along, totally helpless, lost. Here is somebody telling us something that we should all know, the reality of Zimbabwe, where we are today, if you want.
After decades of economic collapse under Mugabe's dictatorship, can this once prosperous nation find its way back to hope? President Mnangagwa promises Vision 2030, transforming Zimbabwe into a middle-income economy. The country offers $3.9 billion, compensation to white farmers for seized lands. Zimbabwe sits on Africa's largest lithium reserves, enough to supply 20% of global demand. These battery metals could fuel the country's economic resurrection in the electric vehicle age. But there's a catch. China has become Zimbabwe's lifeline and master. 68 billion in resource-backed loans over 20 years. Chinese companies control lithium mining, built the parliament, even the defense university. The price of Chinese friendship? Facial recognition surveillance systems, tracking opposition leaders, environmental destruction in mining areas, worker abuse and unpaid wages at Chinese-operated mines across the country. Zimbabwe's dilemma is stark: accept Chinese investment, with strings attached, or remain isolated and poor. The government chooses development over democracy, surveillance over freedom. Money without questions. The West demands governance reforms first. Guest petition for influence. The tragedy is Zimbabwe's people deserve better. Rich in resources, talented population, but trapped between corrupt leadership and foreign exploitation. Their hope remains, but at what cost?
Indeed, the Chinese have become masters in Zimbabwe. But this should not come as a surprise to anyone out there. We saw this coming. Zimbabweans have failed to see that sanctions was the biggest problem in the country. They failed to see this through this so-called sanctions smokescreen that Zanu PF created. Zimbabweans have also failed to see through Chamisa's idiotic lies of winning rigged elections. And they've participated in flawed elections to give Zanu PF legitimacy and perpetuate the dictatorship. A nation that is that blind can never be master of their own destiny. That is the reality we have got to face. Why is it that our leaders have been able to cheat us, con us so easily? And this has allowed foreigners like the Chinese to come in and take advantage of that. There's no doubt that the Chinese control Zimbabwe today. The regime keeps telling us that we are going to build factories to process the lithium, etc., etc. And yet, at the present moment, billions of tons of lithium are being exported to China and processed. Even if we were to build those industries, chances are we'll only get pennies from that resource, just like we've got pennies from other resources like diamonds and gold because of the mismanagement of the economy. As long as Zimbabwe remains a pariah state, ruled by corrupt, incompetent, and tyrannical thugs, together with their opposition MDC-CCC sidekick, who have turned out to be equally corrupt, incompetent, and utterly useless, Zimbabwe will never rise from where we are now. Like I said at the beginning, we've been traveling down this road for the last 46 years. We are still on that road. Until Zimbabweans wake up and start asserting themselves in a more meaningful way, the country is going nowhere. As I said, a nation that can so be easily foxed by sanctions as to cover up for corruption, by idiotic lies to con them to participate in flawed elections, is a nation that is in deep trouble. You can never be master of your own destiny if you're that blind. That is the truth.